Gun Rights Radio Network has the best pro-Second Amendment, pro-gun rights podcast available on the net. The podcasts are absolutely free when subscribing using iTunes or Zune Marketplace. Or if you want, you can just listen from the website. Make sure you visit gunrightsradio.com to subscribe. Podcasting freedom, one episode at a time.
The next caliber is .40 Smith Wesson. .40 Smith Wesson is typically used very much in limited division, and again, that gets into .40 Smith Wesson is considered the bottom floor caliber that you can claim major power factor in. In limited division, we're limited to 140 millimeter magazines, so obviously the idea is try to get as many rounds in the magazine as we possibly can, and 40 is a smaller diameter than 45. Since both score major, obviously the lean there is toward 40 caliber. So you're pretty much going to see 40 caliber being used exclusively in limited division on USPSA.
And it's also found in production division because there's no capacity advantage in production. The only problem is that if you're shooting major power 40 in production, you're dealing with muzzle blast and recoil, but not getting any benefit for it in the scoring.
Right.
But if you're a hand loader, like most shooters, anybody who pursues a sport with any enthusiasm will become a hand loader. You can load your 40 down to minor power factor, and then if you want, you can shoot minor power factor in production. You can load it up to major to shoot limited, and so then there's certain cartridges that are much more versatile than others. And 40 is one of those cartridges that it really is pretty versatile in the shooting sports because you can manipulate your power factors through hand loading to really suit the gun to different divisions where capacity isn't really an issue.
And then one advantage also of that, I think it's like the Glock 35, is that people will shoot production with a Glock 35 and 40 caliber, and then jump over immediately into either limited or limited 10, and with the same gun, shoot 40 caliber, bump the load up, and claim major power factor. So you kind of have one gun that does two things.
Yeah, and so that's one of the other things. If you're taking a practical shooting, by choosing a certain gun and a certain caliber, you could shoot multiple divisions. I mean, like Steve mentioned, the Glock 35, which is a 40 caliber.
Right.
You can load it up or load it down. Same way with the Glock 34, which is a 9 millimeter.
Yeah, it's same one.
It's a very, very good gun. You could shoot in USPSA production division, IDPA enhanced service pistol, IDPA stock service pistol. In IDPA, 40 is a very popular cartridge in USPSA because it's kind of the rules have kind of created this perfect storm where it's the only caliber that really anybody shoots in limited division. 40 is kind of an orphan in IDPA because you never get the benefit of the extra power that's available.
Right.
In stock service pistol.
Or the capacity.
Yeah, stock service pistol, everything is 10 rounds, everything is minor. In enhanced service pistol, 10 rounds, minor. So if you're shooting a more powerful gun, you never get the benefit from it. So 9 millimeter, again, it's in IDPA, is sort of that equivalent of the 40 in USPSA, where it's really versatile and you can do a lot of different things with it.
So the next caliber is 45 ACP, typically. And 45 ACP you'll see being used in revolver division in USPSA, primarily in single stack division, which is really where it comes to shine with the new single stack division that was created a few years ago, and also in limited 10. In fact, for quite some time, you and I both shot single stack guns in limited 10 in both 45 ACP.
Yeah, before the single stack division was introduced, and 10 millimeters was kind of, or 10 round magazines were the limit, everywhere in the country. Single stack division, to a certain extent, or limited 10 division was single stack division.
Right.
You could shoot your single stack gun there without penalty because you had the availability of 10 round mags. And as the assault weapon ban sunset and higher capacity magazines have become more widely available through most of the country, most of the single stackers have gone to single stack division, where they're now limited to 8 rounds shooting major.
Right.
And also, in the caliber separation, we kind of started out on 38 special and then kind of went away from it to go into the auto pistol rounds. But 45 auto is actually probably the most common and useful revolver cartridge in both IDPA and USPSA because it scores major. In USPSA, allows the gun to be loaded 6 rounds at a time with a moon clip. And that advantage of moon clip loading versus speed loader loading has been determined by IDPA to be enough of an advantage that they've actually split the revolver division, which was the least popular division already, into 2 separate, even smaller divisions now. One which is dominated by the clip-loaded 45s, and the other, which is the natural home for the speed loader loaded 38 specials. Now, what about cartridges that aren't really very good, aren't really popular or
there's
enough?
I think what Rick's pointing out there is 10 millimeter. I mean, some people have guns chambered in 10 millimeter, and 10 millimeter in USPSA is clearly going to score major. In IDPA circles, it's ES
Enhanced Service Pistol.
Yeah, is where it finds a home.
But you don't get any advantage from the ability to load the power factor way up, because 165 is the floor for major. Even if your gun is capable with factory normal pressure ammo of making well over 200 power factor, you don't get any benefit from doing so. And so 10 millimeter can't do anything in competition terms that 40 can't do.
Right.
And so the 10 millimeter brass is rare, relatively rare and expensive. So anybody who wants to shoot a 40 caliber bullet is shooting it out of a 40 Smith & Wesson.
Right. And then another kind of oddball caliber is like 357 SIG, or in revolver if anybody's actually shooting a 357 Magnum.
Yeah, and most people, even if their gun is chambered in 357 Magnum, they're going to use 38 special brass because it's cheap, it's easy to get, and it's actually easier to reload. We'll do future episodes specifically devoted to reloading, but cartridge selection to some extent can be made on factors that really have nothing to do with the ammo per se, the velocities and whatnot, or even cost. You'll have a small advantage, competitive advantage, based on something as kind of obscure as the length of the cartridge case. And we'll get into that again in future episodes.
And the ability to actually put together your own ammunition and tailor it to your particular firearm and recoil sensitivities and things like that. So. Yeah,
but the most popular cartridges available over the counter are probably no coincidence the ones that are best suited for both types of competition.
Right.
If you're shooting auto pistol, it's going to be 9, 40, and 45. If you're shooting a revolver, it's going to be 45 or 38 special. Those are overwhelmingly the most popular across both IDPA and USPSA.
Right. Anything else to add?
Go out to the range, have fun, be safe. We'll see you next time.
Hey, remember, hit our website at powerfactorshow.com. If you have any questions or suggestions, powerfactorshow@gmail.com. So next time, thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Rick. This is Steve. You can shoot me here.
But if you have a hostage, you shoot at the hostage and keep shooting.
Right.